Welcome back to The Forge, where two enter, one leaves champion, and one leaves beaten, battered, and bruised. This week we have two high-level tournament players. We're joined by Hans, or as some know him as Dr. Hoa, but I don't know who those some would be, because it's nobody I know. We just know him as Hans. Hans has won about 600 Forge Watch Invitational tournaments. There might have been one or two that he did not win. Those were rare occurrences, though. And he did quite well at the Forge Watch Invitational as well, and I expect to see him in the next Forge Watch Invitational and all other major events. Our other competitor this week is JRan74. He's not quite the household name that Hans is, but he's still a top-level talent indeed. He has a couple top 8 finishes in Forge Watch Invitational tournaments. He has wrecked the queue a couple times, and he is certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with in the future, and possibly today. So let's go ahead and take a look at these deck lists, Jake. So Hans is running the Yeti list. I have found the Yeti list to be quite good. Yesterday I started running it in the queue a lot. My list is a little bit different than his. I'd say about, 25 or so of the cards are just cards you play in this deck. And you have about 4 or 5 possibilities. I'm actually writing an article on this as we speak. And my list has what I consider to be a major difference than Hans. So I'm interested to see how his list does with the choices that he's made. Have you played much Yeti yet, Jake?
Not a lot. I tried it out a little bit. You know, the thing I like probably best about the deck is that you get to run 3 Glacial Crush.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, that's my favorite part. That card is so sick.
It has a ton of non-level gated removal and then good bodies. That's what makes this deck so strong. If you get out an early Ice Mage and it hangs around, you will usually win that game because it is not level gated. Glacial Crush is not level gated. The only one that's level gated out of the combo is Wall Breaker. And you're going to want to play Wall Breaker anyway. It's a 4/7 Yeti. And then you throw the Warlord on there, who just kills everything on the board when he comes out. And maybe have a Fire Fist Durante in some matchups that you're boosting with a Patriarch. And suddenly you're killing everything on the board while having a full board of bodies. I've actually had 5 games where people resigned at 1.2.
I could see it, yeah. I mean, you know, it's built around sort of the same shell as, you know, previous green-red Patriarch Fire Fist decks, but it's just so much better now. And for those of you who haven't played Glacial Crush yet, the first time you kill a level 3 Gargoyle with a level 1 Glacial Crush, you will fall out of your chair. That's how good it is.
Even better is when you kill with a level 2, and it's free.
And it's free!
And you just
I
play
know.
a couple more guys.
Or even the level 3, if it comes down to it, because you've killed them up until then, and you do 16 to his face for free.
Yeah, it's pretty darn bonkers, actually. So I'm excited to see how Hans does with it. I've gotten a bunch of 4-0s, couple 3-1s, so it's a really strong deck. So let's go ahead and look at his challenger, JRan, who is running... I don't know, I think he didn't realize Set 2 came out. Now, he's got 2 Death Currents in there, but he's running otherwise a fairly typical NT deck. I know you have fallen in love even more with the errata to Scorchmane.
You know, how do you not love Scorchmane now? Even the people who said, no, Jake, Scorchmane sucks, are playing Scorchmane now, because what are you going to do? Level 2. The new level 2 has the added benefit now of trading with almost any level 3 in the game. Yeah. And if it is in player level 2, then it just kills whatever you put it down in front of. And then you have a 12-12 mobility. So like, I don't even know how you argue with that card anymore. It was already good, they buffed it, and now it's just incredible.
Yeah, now it's broken.
It is broken, yeah.
My question is Death Current. I personally have not run Death Current. I've seen people run against me. When I was running my Yeti deck, it's kind of laughable. I have like 5 cards on the table. It always hits the wrong one. I'll be interested to see how JRan is able to exploit it. It feels like a card that's really strong against decks that are sort of like growing one guy huge. You can take out the small guys and then just boom, death current the other guy. But I believe it is level gated. Is that correct, Jake?
It is level gated. I mean, I tried it briefly on day 1 of set 2 coming out. So far, I'm not a fan. I'm generally not a fan of any removal spell that is double gated because this one sits behind 2 layers of restrictions in that A, it's random, and B, it's still level gated.
Yeah, I agree. I think it should be level gated in the way something like Metasculpt is, where it hits 1s and 2s and then above. I think the spell would be more playable then. Currently, yeah. I would have to lean towards unplayable, but I'm definitely curious to see how JRan is able to exploit it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has spots where it will be good. But for me personally, I know I put it in my deck for at least 2 or 3 Qs, and I had no inclination to play it whatsoever every time I drew it. It's just, it was not a very good spell for me.
I just noticed he doesn't have my very, very favorite NT card, which is Spite Mage. I think that card is completely ridiculous, and I'm shocked he doesn't have it in there.
I mean, it's possible he just doesn't have them yet if he hasn't been grinding the Qs to get new cards. But yeah, I would agree because Spite Mage is absolutely amazing. Yeah. It is the new removal spell for NT, and it's just crazy because it's a card that is not dead if you draw it at the wrong time. You know how your Dreadbolt, you level your Dreadbolt all the way to 3, and then you see it in 3.1 before your opponent's even played at a level 3 creature. And they're like, well, darn, I guess I don't have a Dreadbolt this player level.
Yep, that was
Spite Mage doesn't work like that. You slam him in an empty lane or wherever you want and just do 12.
Yeah, it's really, really good. All right, well, let's go ahead and bring our competitors in. Let's welcome Hans in. Do a little headbang. Oh, yeah. So, Hans, welcome to the show. And what made you select Yetis today?
Hey everybody. I was looking forward to play something new, something using new cards. So I had a lot of choices. I was very happy about the sheer amount of different things that the new set brings for constructed, and quite right now it's still a little bit hard to explore everything because still acquiring all the cards, but yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty cool. There's lots of things going on in constructed, and I wanted to show off one of them where I had most of the cards that I would want into the deck already, so that was part of the choice. Yeah, there's very many things I want to play, I want to try, but I just hate when I don't have the cards in the amount of numbers that I want to have them. So for this, it worked out, and I think it's going to be fun.
Have you been playing this deck much?
Not enough, but some.
Okay. Do you have Oros yet?
No.
Yeah, I don't either. I'd be tempted to try him in this deck. Obviously, I haven't gotten to yet, but how about Glacius? Have you gotten much value out of him in this deck?
I think he's fine. I'm not sure. I only have one, and I'm not sure whether I would want more than one. Perhaps 2 might be a good number. We will see. But yeah, I like what he does. I think he's fine in deck.
Okay. Yeah, I've been having the same problem with Glacius. I only have 1 copy so far, so I've been trying him in my NT deck, and sometimes he's just amazing. If you draw him in the right turn. Sometimes he sits in my hand, does nothing, and I'm not sure yet whether I want more because I can't try it with more, and that frustrates me for sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that. How about Turnabout? Have you gotten to use that much? And I'm looking at Fire Fist JRan74 and thinking, oh, Turnabout could be really good with him.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a somewhat situational card, but yeah, that's why it's in there. It's like a one-off. I really like one-offs of situational cards to to mess with your opponent's board and to mess with the game state and to do something a little bit more unexpected, then you have like the main theme of a deck, what you are generally trying to do, and in some decks you still have some slots that are open and not really required, and you can put in something that does something more tricky, and you want it on occasion. And I think Turnboard is such a card. It can do amazing stuff.
And
the upside seems very high if you do find the right spot for it.
Yeah. Did you put Solstice Reveler in there just because you're in love with her, or because you think she's good?
First of all, Jake is watching, so I believe I will be drawing her always on the fourth turn of the rank. And yeah, I mean, she's cheering for me. She's cheering for my win. So she has to be there dancing in the background.
Yeah, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you and her will be forever linked because you were so enamored by her beauty. Her nickname is Hans's girlfriend. All right, well, Hans, good luck. And we're going to bring in our next opponent, JRan. Got to get his music going. He loves Nicki Minaj. Alright. So, JRan, what's going on with the deck? I see you're running NT Control here. How do you think it'll do against Yetis? Jake, you get to be JRan.
Oh! Well, NT's the best deck ever, so it's going to win.
Alright, that's fair. How come you're not running Spite Mage?
I don't own them yet.
Yeah, that's fair. Alright, well, good luck, JRan.
Thank you.
Your voice sounds a lot like Jake's. Alright, let's go ahead and get the game started then. Actually, no, before we do that, who do you think is going to win, Jake?
Oh, it's interesting. Normally I would always pick NT. I'm not sure I'm a fan of this list, though. I mean, I like the Dragons for sure. I'm not a fan of Predators, as you know, and I'm a little bit skeptical of Death Current. And I think, the Yeti, the new Yeti deck has a lot of punch to it, so I'm really not sure, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I'm going to pretty strongly back the Yeti deck. I've played against NT a lot and crushed it most games. The one time when it has been able to beat me is when it's been able to really exploit Zerace Will and get tons of removal plus free guys.
Yeah.
And JRan's deck is not taking advantage of that. So I think that the Yeti deck will win.
Yeah, he's a much different build than the Zerace Will Blightwalker sort of deal that we've been working on.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see how basically the old build does with a better Scorchmane versus the kind of builds we've been running with NT. So I'm definitely interested to see it. But I think we should get this party started. And no, we do not stream after work. We just dress up for the stream because we're awesome.
I wear this suit all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he sleeps in that suit.
I do. So it's a little bit wrinkled right in this area today.
Because you're sleeping in it.
That's right.
And that'll happen. All right, so we've got 3 giveaways today, and we have a 2 Metamart invites, actually. We're each going to give one away. Does that sound right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my powder blue suit is in the cleaners permanently. The cleaners stole it. So now I'm forced to wear this dapper one instead.
Yeah.
How dare they?
Yep.
What? What was that, JRan? While we're waiting for the game, you want to hear more of your music?
Absolutely.
Okay, fine, JRan.
My favorite
Whatever
song.
you want. Man, JRan is so demanding of his music. It's hard to believe. So, Jake, how much have you playing with the new set?
A fair bit. Enough that I was playing late enough last night that I ruined my win streak, which was at, I believe, 10 wins in a row in Constructed Queue, by falling asleep and going AFK, essentially, in front of my computer.
I had that happen
So my
to me.
current queue is sitting at 2-1.
That happened to me on the other side. In my 3-0 match, I had somebody just not play a turn. 20 minutes later, I got a platinum pack.
Yep. It happens. I didn't play a turn in my game 3 of that queue.
Wow, look at JRan's opening hand, and he's on the play. Oh, sweet Lord.
Oh,
he
man.
has no creatures. Oh, man, that's the worst.
You know, I've kind of liked it being away from the heavy spell versions of NT and sort of on a more creature-heavy edition now, because those 5-spell hands that are just incredibly awkward don't happen as much.
Yeah. I think you got to go Static Shock and then, discard into Dreadbolt? The Dreadbolt's bad against the Yetis. I'd be tempted to go with Cull or Bolt. Probably Cull is what I would go for.
Cull. I think Cull.
Yep.
What a start, though.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Especially against the Yeti deck, which is looking to really just flood out the board. It's going to give Hans a pretty serious advantage here, actually. I must admit, I feel a little bit bad for JRan there.
Oh, it's just awful starting with a hand like that.
Yeah, it really is.
You really want to put a threat on the board. Like, you really just want to lead on Phoenix or something. He is going for Bolt, looks like, instead of...
Yeah, he played Bolt.
Yeah.
So let's see. It looks like Hans is going to play... If it was me, normally you would play the Mage. Against NT, maybe not, but I think I would still go Mage followed by Fire Fist. The problem is he's got both of his Patriarchs. So playing Fire Fist without a Patriarch is almost pointless. I think I would actually go Mage Patriarch.
I would be fine with Mage Patriarch. At the same time, he does want to get the Fire Fist down there.
Yeah. It's a tough one. If he didn't have any Patriarchs in his hand, the right play would be Mage Fire Fist. But
absolutely. But all of the Patriarchs are in his hand. Well, not all, but
yeah, but most of them. That's a really tough spot he's in. Not as tough as JRan, of course, in his debacle hand, but not a good one.
So what's the second card going to be? He goes okay. So he goes to the Patriarch. I think I agree. You have to level. You have to level Patriarch.
You don't have to, but I think it's a good idea.
My philosophy when playing Patriarch decks is that you generally want to level the Patriarch.
For me, it's more the problem that Fire Fist at a permanent 1 attack is pointless. He might as well not be on the board.
Yeah.
Whereas the Fire Fist or the Mage, you see he's got both Crush and a Wall Breaker in his hand. So I'm very curious to see how he does this. Normally, I would Wall Breaker and take the body and flood the board. I'm curious to see if he wants to level a Crush so that's free later. Oh, he's in a Death Current. Oh my.
Death Current's coming out.
Who's
New cards showing their faces.
Oh, and he hits the worst one. It always hits the worst one.
You know, I don't even have the experience of it hitting the worst one because I literally never played it when I ran it.
I think you got a Wall Breaker here. Just to get another body. And then I think I'd probably play the little 3/3 guy, pump the Mage, do some damage. I really don't think the Fire Fist is going to do that much. Although you can pump it later. So
you can pump it later.
Yeah,
you have a turn before it's attacking.
Yep. Maybe Fire Fist is better. I don't know. Fire Fist does have the better body.
True.
But I got to say, I often win off of the pump guy. Oh,
goes to the Glacius. You know, I kind of like that because
interesting.
I don't know, the power level on Glacius as a card is pretty darn high. Not gonna lie to you.
I haven't really liked him so far, but you know it's hard. Like we were talking about, if you only have one in a deck, it's hard to really see his power.
It is, and just the way it's been so far for me is, you know, if I draw him on the right turn, I play him, and he's usually amazing.
This is a really tough spot, though. Look at his hand. He's got 2 Scorch Mains. He's got a Grimgaunt, and he's got removal. What do you do?
He can't afford the eggs, I don't think.
I think you have to remove that Mage. I think if you leave the Mage there, he's just going to crush you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I'm skeptical of both.
That is a really gutsy, greedy play.
That is greed, and I'm a pretty greedy player. and I play a lot of 0-1s and 0-6s. But I don't think I would have played both Scorched Main eggs there.
Yeah, I would definitely would not have.
I think that's too
called
greedy.
the mage.
When you're down, like Scorched Main, when you can really get away with it, is if you're even on board on creatures, or if you're down one creature.
Yep.
When you're down 3 guys on board, there's just no way you can get away with playing.
I think you play another mage here also, just to get, more of this lockdown. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it seems good.
And now you're hoping for a Patriarch. You get a Patriarch
Absolutely.
2 next turn, and it's just the game's over.
Look out. I mean, it's a pretty scary board, even if he doesn't hit a Patriarch, to be honest.
Yeah. Let's see if JRan goes for another egg.
Oh, there's the Reveler.
He is! Oh my god. He wants to. He's thinking about it.
At this point, it might even be right to gamble like that, because, he's banking on finding 2 dragons in 2.1, essentially.
Yeah. And the Glacius...
That's his goal at this point.
The Glacius would lock down whatever he played anyway. Or the stuff would die anyway to Warlord that's coming out.
Is Warlord coming out?
Yeah. So he can go Warlord Patriarch. He can go Warlord Reveler. He's got a lot
Reveler.
of choices.
Reveler isn't up for debate here, I don't think, is it?
I don't think so either. I think it's probably going to be Warlord in 1, Overwrite Warlord with Reveler.
With Reveler.
That's my guess, but we'll have to see what he does. But JRan is in a world of hurt already. And we're at 1.4.
Oh, yeah, I mean, this is...
In many ways, this is almost like the new Growbots. Like, you just flood the board with stuff, crush them.
It's not dissimilar, not gonna lie. And it's really, I actually like it a lot better than I ever liked Growbots, because you have removal combos.
Yep.
That are just insane.
Yeah, it does so much removal. It's like, instead of having 1 Bright Steel, you've got like 3. So
yeah.
It's really kind of crazy.
And you have Ice Mage plus Glacial Crush, level 1 combo that can kill absolutely anything.
So it looks like he's going to shock Cull. I think he should have shocked first in case he decided he didn't want to play the shock. But
well, maybe he had, planned all of his cards.
Yeah, and then...
Unlike some people named Tiny Grams.
No, I mean he's juggling the shock because he wasn't sure. That was my point. I think he changed his mind halfway through and went, I don't know if I want to do this. Alright. Did he get the Patriarch 2? He did not. Alright. So Patriarch 2...
No, Patriarch 2. He got the Reveler again.
See, the turnabout here would do a little more damage, and it could be worth playing since he's got a full board.
Oh, maybe.
Like he could
JRan is already at 59 life.
Right, he could play it on, say, one of the 4/7s. The problem is, Turnabout 2 is a crazy card. It switches everyone. So I'm really hesitant to play it on level 2. It feels like an out-of-control kind of card.
I think I would probably just play the strong creatures in the end here.
Just play like Reveler, Battle, stick the Yeti over the other Reveler.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do as well. Because you want to keep as many Yetis out as you can. Alright, looking at JRan. Yeah.
It's over. He hasn't seen the dragons. You gamble like that with all 3 dragon eggs, and they have to come back around because I don't know. I very much disagree with the way he did. He played player level 1 with the dragon eggs. That's all there is to
he
say.
might have felt like he'd already fallen behind too much, that he was dead, and his only hope was to go all in. That's the only thing I can come up with.
I don't know what else to say about it because he definitely was gambling at the end there when he decided to continue playing the dragon eggs. I just feel that he wasn't that far behind so early, and that he could have been back in it with playing real cards.
I agree. I think had he removed some of that damage, it's all low damage. People get kind of scared, like, oh no, there's 5 Yetis on the board. But if they don't find their Patriarchs, it's 5.
They're all
low
3
damage
power.
guys. They have big butts, but they don't have big attack. Just start culling. Yeah, and I agree with that play. Max damage, no reason to engage that Phoenix.
No,
just punch him.
It's over. Yeah, there's the concession. All right, so I mean that was a very fast game one.
Yeah,
it's just
you know what? You know what? I'm a little worried. I don't think Hans is actually playing his turns. I think he hired someone to play for him. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do a giveaway from game one. Let me bring this up. Bring it up.
Yeah, I don't know that it matters how good this deck is. I don't think Hans is gonna be able to stick on it. He just wins too fast.
I don't know. Grobot's won pretty fast, and he's pretty famous in my household for being on the slower side. For those of you who don't know the story, my daughter regularly just talks about Hans and being a slow player, so it's kind of entertaining.
Yep, she knows what's up.
Yep, she sure does. All right, let me go ahead and bring up the gift box here. All right, so since Hans won game one, we're going to do a giveaway for a code here from Stoneblade. Put in hashtag Hans if you would like to qualify. All right, you guys can continue on to game two if you like. So, what do you think JRan can do differently in this game? Do you think basically just don't be quite as greedy?
My phone's my life.
Don't be as greedy, yeah.
Comes down slow and old.
Yeah, free advertisements. Courtesy of Tiny Grimes. Not even getting paid for that. Just doing it because they're awesome.
I think he needs to get on the board. He's playing the more traditional version of NT, which is built around many small removal spells and predators and devourers. He needs to get on the board and make Hans react to him, or it's just not going to happen. And to be honest, I think that plan is also terrible because Hans' deck is loaded with, like that, even just that Glacial Crush combo. You grow a giant predator or a giant devourer, well, look out. The Yeti deck has 7 different ways to give a defender.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And Glacial Crush is the one-shot no matter how big you make it.
Interesting. For some reason, it is not recording your guys' entries. Let me make sure that it's working properly here.
Did you get the key in there, right?
I believe so, yes. But you never know. Hans is a very difficult name to spell. It's with 4 N's, right?
That's how I spell it.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Alright. It's got... Looks like it has everybody in it.
Everybody? Or do people need to re-enter?
It's got 110 entrants, so I think we got it.
Okay. Alright, I think we're good then.
Alright, you guys can start game 2 whenever you're ready.
Yep, let's keep on going.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I've come around to agreeing with you that the Yetis definitely have to be favored here overall.
They have to be what?
Have to be favored in this match, for sure.
Really? After them just completely whooping? That convinced you?
It's more just that the NT list that JRan is running isn't equipped, really, to deal with this, I think.
I agree. I think he goes Warlord here. Nah, maybe Patriarch's better.
I lean towards Patriarch, personally.
Yeah, I think Patriarch. The difference is both of them are really good late game, and so that's what you get to. Like, which one would you prefer to have?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played that much with the Warlord yet, but definitely am always inclined to level my Patriarchs because by leveling your Patriarch, you essentially level the entire hand that you draw in player level 2 when you draw that Patriarch. Because whatever you play with it, even if it's level 1, is going to get buffed up to roughly level 2 stats.
Right. Alright, so his next turn is also pretty good. That's the one downside of not playing the Warlord. Now he gets a Warlord. When he sticks his Zemus in front of it, the Warlord just dropping to the board won't kill it.
Right.
Oh, never mind. He's not putting it in front of the Patriarch. So now he will kill it. And would you egg here, or would you Phoenix?
Oh, it's a tough decision for sure because that decision is one that comes up a lot, and it is entirely based on the matchup. I think he's probably going to go for egg.
Yeah, I wonder if Phoenix is the right play Kill the Patriarch, have a guy left on the board, have some presence.
Well, if I was going to play Phoenix, I would have put it in the lane that he put Zemus into. Because you don't put your Phoenix in front of Patriarch right away until it's attacking, because you don't want to let them roar to ruin your win. It's like that. I mean, it works okay here because we know he's not holding a roar.
Yeah, but he can play his buff guy.
That's true. He can just play the Uranti. I'm not sure what cards. I assumed he wanted to play Patriarch and Warlord this time.
Yeah, I think so too, but I think the better play might be Uranti. Because otherwise the Phoenix is going to be annoying. It's going to kill the Warlord in front of the Zemus. I think you just kill it with the Uranti.
Okay, so your second card would then be Patriarch or Warlord?
Warlord. I would put Warlord in front of Zemus, then play the Uranti, say in 1, buff the Patriarch, trade. Now you're left with 2 cards against his 0. And you're already sort of getting the steamroll going.
Okay, but if you just played Warlord and then buffed it with Patriarch, the Phoenix wouldn't be able to kill it anymore either.
That's true. That's a good point.
I think I like that better because then you level the cards that you want to level instead of having to play the Warbringer Uranti here. Not that leveling Warbringer Uranti is terrible because the card is good.
It is really good, actually.
It's very good. But wow, I think you do want to play. Oh, that works too. Now that
that's very interesting. If I was going to do it that way, I would be really tempted to put the Warbringer down so I could kill both guys. But like, his thought must be something like, I
like it this way.
I'm going to get a Warlord anyway. At some point later, I can take a little damage from that Zemus.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Zemus 1. Who cares if it's life?
Right.
It doesn't do anything. He's going to pick it off, whenever.
Yep, so that was one of those,
this a lot better.
That was one of those now versus later. Like, do you play for the now and have 2 guys on board versus 0? Or do you have a Patriarch leveled versus a Uranti? And again, that's which is better. The Uranti is really good leveled. +8 on your Fire Fist kills everything.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, but I definitely think that the line he took is pretty good.
Yeah, it might be the better play. I'm not saying one play was better than the other. I was saying that's how you have to evaluate those 2 plays. Which one did you want more, the now or the later?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so he calls.
Yep, that's clearly right. You got to call. I think you Death Current here, actually.
I was going to say, do you Death Current and just take the Yeti off the board?
I think so. I think that's better.
Or do you play Phoenix? It looks like he's mousing over Phoenix.
He's got the Phoenix down. That's a dangerous play because if he has a Warlord, that Phoenix is dead. And the Zemus is dead. And he has 2 guys on the board. But he didn't hit it, so maybe he'll be okay. I'd be kind of tempted to go Fire Fist Roar. Killing, basically wiping out his board, having a reasonable Fire Fist. You could even block if you wanted and still have a 3/3, so an Epidemic wouldn't kill it. He'd have to
I actually like the block. I like the blocking plan.
I think I do too. I mean, you could always just block with the Warbringer if you wanted to, and play Fire Fist over in 1.
I mean, Wall Breaker, yeah.
Yes, I can't see.
Yeah, you could pass on the Roar, but I quite like the Roar to turn that into not a trade with the Phoenix, that it kills it outright.
I do too. Level 3 Roars in this deck are so bonkers, it's unbelievable. I've won 2 games.
I gotta tell you, level 3 Roars, they're just bonkers in every deck.
Yeah, level 3 Roar in this deck though, you're like, I have 5 guys, they're all kind of okay. Level 3 Roar ball game.
Hey, now they're amazing.
Now they're the greatest cards ever.
Ever. That's not true. That's not true. They still don't match up with Scorchmane Dragon 3. Sorry, sir.
You sure love that Scorchmane.
I do. Have you met him recently? He's pretty kick-ass.
He's pretty good. Alright, so it looks like he's going the Wall Breaker, Fire Fist route. Oh,
no, Wall Breaker Roar. Yeah. See, he wants the Warlord to kill a Phoenix outright. And I agree with that.
And he's got 2 big guys now. They can't be called He's basically daring his opponent to play Dreadbolts, which are never useful.
Yeah, that would be the one and only time that it is useful, basically.
So that's a pretty darn reasonable play. And if he had drawn a Warlord here, he could potentially, do some serious damage to whatever he puts down.
Well, I mean, when it comes after, he just gets level Ice Mages if he wants, or...
Yeah, looking at his hand, I think you just go Ice Mage, and you're very happy.
Yeah, I don't think Fire Fist is a hugely relevant card in this matchup.
Yep,
most
I agree.
of the time. So it's much better against decks that are trying to, be consistently on the board with many guys.
Right, many smaller guys that you can just pick off.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so easy battle, yeah.
Yep.
And then just play the Yetis.
That would be my call.
Yeah, 1 and 5. I agree completely.
Problem is,
Oh, he backs off on it.
how many wall breakers has he played? Has he only played the one wall breaker?
Played 1.
Okay. But he does have Glacial Crush, so that'll be good.
Glacial Crush, my pick for new favorite spell of the world, maybe.
Wow.
I'm a pretty big fan of that card. I have it in my deck right now. It's been very, very good.
Yep. So someone is noting that there's almost no legendaries in Hans's deck, and my current build has no legendaries. I don't have Glacius in it.
Oh yeah, I mean, what are legendaries? What are they even for? They don't do anything.
Yeah, and it was not.
That's not true. He's got a Solstice Reveler.
Oh yeah, he does. Mine doesn't have that either. I don't own that card yet.
Well, that's mostly for cheerleading, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just really
And
interesting
dancing. Background dancing.
that that I did not set out to play a legendary list deck, and that's where I ended. So apparently we missed the next turn because Hans has no dudes on the board.
Oh, okay. I was busy talking.
What did he play? So if he traded off 2 guys, he must have played 2 culls.
Okay, well, what's he gonna play here? It's just Ice Mage Patriarch here.
Yeah, I think that's the best play.
1 and 5 again, I think.
Yep, that's what I would do.
Yep. Plus, I like having the Ice Mage down alone like this now because, if JRan's plan for the turn includes playing a creature, it is set up to get knocked off by that Ice Mage at this point.
Yeah, and JRan never played a Predator, so they're kind of pointless now.
Oh, it's too late. If your Predator isn't leveled, then it doesn't snowball.
I mean, it puts him basically in the spot of having to just play an Ash to the board and hoping he doesn't get run over.
Okay, Chad is saying he played Cull and the other Death Current is what he played on the missing.
Yep, and Death Current. Oh, man.
Yeah, I like the Altar GGDs too. I use them as well. Big fan of them. Alright, so Azimus comes down in front of the Ice Mage. That is fairly weak, but you do what you gotta do. Is he going for the Phoenix Ashes?
I don't know. I mean, dude, what else is he gonna do? And then Hans just goes Warlord, Patriarch, ball game.
Goodbye.
I mean, it's not quite ball game because all those guys are weak enough to where if JRan can hang around, pull his calls, do all the removal.
I don't know. It's pretty ball game.
If this was Growbots, it would be ball game. It's not quite Growbots, but it's pretty close to being.
Yeah, this is pretty close to Growbots.
So he's probably got a cull here, and then what? An Ash, and then just pray that level 3 is the greatest level 3 ever.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead.
I don't know. Hans doesn't have that impressive of a hand. He's not gonna be able to do that much damage.
He's got 27 damage on board. 27 damage on board.
Yeah, plus the roar, plus
with
the
a roar in
boost
his
from
hand that he's
Urante.
playing. Yeah, I mean he's gonna do 40 damage. Okay, less now because the cull came down, but
Definitely called the right guy.
I would probably Urante Bolt over the Ashes.
I think
is
I
what
would Ash.
probably do.
I don't think Urante Bolt does much. Here, it's stopping 6 damage. It's not that great.
No, you'd be stopping 7 on that turn, plus 9 more on your opponent's turn would be 16.
Well, I mean, that's assuming he knows he has a roar. But yes.
Well, even if he doesn't roar, it's 14.
14. But 14 or a Phoenix, I think.
But it's not a Phoenix though.
Oh, it's a Phoenix.
It's not a Phoenix.
It's a level 3 Phoenix.
In the deck.
Oh, actually, he could wall breaker and just. Oh no, he can't. He'd have to crush it.
Wall breaker doesn't kill it. 1 second.
No, because it's a level gated card.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Unlike Glacial Crush, he's not gonna crush it though.
I don't know. I think he's tempted.
He's not gonna crush it. His deck is full of removal. He can kill it next turn.
Right. I wouldn't crush it.
I have faith in the deck.
I think I would just play both of the buff guys, do a ton of damage, get him pretty close. The problem is if he doesn't pull a removal card next turn, he's in some trouble. He's got 2 crushes.
Well, what he can do is he can put a guy in front of the ashes to make his opponent kill his creature first of all.
Right.
So that then he not only his opponent has to kill the creature, and then he also just has to come up with a removal next turn if that does happen.
Right. I mean, he has to
but
know.
I would probably play Warbringer plus Ferocious Roar, and just get as much
Yep.
damage as possible.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. I don't know why I said double Warbringer. That was ridiculous.
That was ridiculous.
Clearly
I
play
almost
the
slapped
Warrior.
you right through the computer.
Wow. Come on, man.
Slapped you right through the internet.
Yeah, Hounds is really thinking this one out, though.
Can't blame him.
He must be
It's
thinking.
definitely.
Is it
I mean, the safe play is just Glacial Crush, the Phoenix,
Yeah.
right?
Crush and then roar. Crush and then roar kind of opens the door for his opponent, though. If he finds all the right removal and plays a good card.
He does go forth, though. I like the Roar here because, it puts all his guys above 10, so Azimus 2 can't come down
Yep.
and just trade for a guy immediately.
Can still call the Warlord, though.
You see there's the damage. He had it.
Yep. He would have had it. 2 different forms. But it's
Yeah,
tough. You gotta do the
I would have
odds.
just gone for it because, there's so many sources of damage in this deck that you're very likely to hit
Yeah.
on that gamble.
I think. Yeah, I guess you do have to do that. Looks like maybe Yeti or the Warlord 2 and the Mage 2. The Patriarch doesn't actually do anything here.
At the same time, Mage doesn't need to go to level 3.
It's true, but having it on the board is what you're caring about.
Having it on the board is the reason why you would play it. Yeah.
Right. Just in case he pulls, like, I don't know, a 2.4 Phoenix that hatches or whatever he decides to do. Maybe it'll stay around on the board till 3.1.
3.1 is the turn you worry about, because at that point, we know JRan has, 2 Phoenixes leveled in his deck.
He's went for it. He's
But
gone
that's
all in, baby.
basically it. There's no dragons. He's got a Zemus 3 and 2 Phoenixes.
Yep. I'm very
And he
surprised
does
to
play
see
the
that.
Patriarch.
He
No, I
basically-
agree with it. I agree with it.
He basically gave up 9 damage, though, in a race scenario. Because had he played the Warlord, he kills that guy outright, does 9 more damage, and has an extra guy on the board. So 9 more damage and 4 guys on the board. I'm frankly stunned.
Warlord was killing the guy?
What?
Warlord would have killed the guy? What?
Yeah, 6 damage.
If he replaced
What was the guy in front of,
Patriarch?
Oh.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
I think I still would have done that, though. Because you still have 4 guys on board. But I guess you don't do the damage, so that was a little crazy.
No, there's no damage involved, so I agree with leveling the Patriarch to 3. I want Patriarch 3s in my deck, even though it's been nerfed.
Maybe. The Warlord.
I don't know who
is
this
really
Tiny
good.
Grimes guy is.
Warlord 3, though. 12 damage. It scales so well. It's unbelievable.
Okay, what does the 12 kill, though, that he cares about in JRan's deck?
That plus Bolt kills a Phoenix 3. I don't know if you've heard of that card. It's pretty good.
Okay, but, it's not that hard to kill a Phoenix 3. Only 50.
It actually kind of is for the Yeti deck. The Yeti deck does not reach up to kill level 3s all that well. It's a level 1 and 2 deck that if you don't have a huge lead, you lose in level 3.
Okay, but I mean, he also has an Ice Mage on the board, so any Glacial Crush kills a Phoenix.
Yep. The problem is JRan drew very badly there, 3.1. He needed
it's a pretty terrible hand, yeah. Alright, so he's going to give it Defender and kill it with the Wall Breaker.
Yeah, I think you have to do that.
Yeah, you got a free kill on the Zemus. And you have, what, 6, 7, 9, 11. You can do 13 damage this turn.
Yeah, and here's that situation where had you been leveling the Warbringer, if that was like a level 2 or a level 3 Warbringer, you would just win right here. If it was level 3.
If it was level 3, yeah.
Yep. I'm not saying you should have leveled it all the way. I'm just saying
it's also irrelevant, though, because he wins next turn.
Maybe. His
Like,
opponent's going to drop a Phoenix. He's going to bolt. I don't think he will win next turn.
He's going to be at, potentially, he's going to do 8, 11, 13 damage right here. He's going to be at 9.
Yeah, if he's at 9.
Like, I lean towards Roar here, personally, and just do the damage right now.
I think I do as well. This is the one trick of the Yeti deck, is this closing out when the window is very small. Like,
I don't think it is small. It's locked. He's done.
If JRan was at 40 health right now, he would win.
Yeah, but he's not, is my point.
Right, but that's my point. You need to be able to close it out. And that draw should make Hans be able to win without a problem. The level 3 Patriarch is the winner. The problem that he's facing is that he has to be scared of the Ice Mage. So he's got to kill that guy.
Well, he has to kill that guy because he'll kill him. Isn't he dead on board anyways?
4 plus 4 is only 8. So no, he's not dead on board.
No, I mean on Hans' turn though. Hans doesn't need to play cards.
Yeah, no, because he'll only do 4 here and then plus 4 more because he'll bolt. I guess he can't bolt him, but he could Predator in front of, or that, whatever. But if he didn't have the Patriarch, he would live and then lose next turn.
Yes, then he would be at 2.
It looks as
but
though,
as it is, he has the Patriarch. I'm just saying, I don't view it as a hard endgame. This was just absolutely routine. Is my point.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, the winner of the first giveaway is KJax05. I will send you your code shortly. Actually, I think I can send it right now. Oops. Mangled Jake's face to do that. Well worth it.
That's fine. That's fine.
Well worth it.
Not a problem. Alright, so we can do another giveaway?
So yeah, let's go ahead and do another giveaway.
Alright.
This one is going to be, the keyword is hashtag Yeti.
Yeti. Makes sense to me.
Dun dun dun. And it looks
Yeti
like
are bringing the fire today.
we're up to 2-0.
We are, in fact, up to 2-0.
Say it isn't so. All right. Hans crushing.
It's on JRan to take a game now and extend this series.
What's he gonna do though? Any suggestions for JRan? If you were JRan and you had decided, like in a momentary moment of weakness, you put Predators in your deck, how are you gonna win this one?
Step 1 is I had to put 3 Blightwalkers in my deck.
Yeah. Blightwalkers or Varna.
I'd have both. I'd have
Cersei,
Blightwalker and Cersei.
Spite Mage.
And Spite Mages, yeah.
So you could have Spite Mage in front instead of Death Current. Which would you choose? I think JRan must not have access to the full card pool now. I mean,
or maybe he just hasn't tried Spite Mage yet, because Spite Mage is really, really good.
Yeah, that card
like the removal suite in the updated NT lists is just so strong now.
Yeah, I agree. It's a lot stronger than it was before, I think.
Oh, it's so much better because all your removal spells now basically kill anything.
Yep.
It's what it comes down to.
You're not just pulling Dreadbolts at the wrong time and crying anymore.
No, it's like, hey, I have 10 removal spells and they all kill anything.
Yep. Totally agree.
Yeah. It's just really good.
So a crazy idea I had, and I think this would be awful, is putting Flame Shaper in the Yeti deck.
It's interesting. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think the problem is it's a different deck. I think Yeti is more about flooding the board and winning through that route, whereas Shaper is more about a longer game controlling the board. It's probably something I'll try at some point.
I think they're very different decks. If the Shaper worked with Patriarch, in numbers-wise, then you might be onto something, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I've been petitioning for an errata so that it will work.
Oh, okay. Let me know if that happens.
Okay, yeah, I will. I'll let you know, man.
That would be awesome.
I'll keep you abreast of the matter.
All right,
cool. You guys can start whenever you want. We look forward to JRan winning this game. We don't know how. Come on, JRan. We are openly rooting for you. We want to see Game 3. Yes, that's what I wanted to see. If Devourer could do something in this matchup.
All right, well, this is its chance. I mean, when it comes down to it, I'm kind of skeptical of the whole concept because I feel like Glacial Crush is finally going to get some serious play. Yeah, I mean, there goes the Ice Mage.
Yep. And
that combo shuts down any Devourer, no matter how big.
Yep.
Level 1 against level 3.
Level 1 against level 3. That's so ridiculous. It doesn't shut it down quite as much as you're giving it credit, because usually you can find a Cull or a Spite Mage or something to take it out before it can trigger.
That's true, but he also has your Anti-Bolts.
Yep.
You can just your Anti-Bolt Wallbreaker Yeti when it comes down. Then you're talking level gated on the Yeti, but the Anti-Bolt part is not level gated.
This is a true story. All right, well, he gets to do it now. He gets to do the Wallbreaker. The nice thing is he doesn't have to Wallbreaker the Devourer because he can just Warlord that. So he can go Wallbreaker on the Phoenix, Warlord, boom, wipes the board on his way to having the exact same scenario as last game.
The sad part is, he really wants to play Patriarch here. I might even do it.
I definitely would not.
What if you give the Phoenix Defender for the turn?
Yep.
And just Patriarch, Warlord Patriarch, and then kill the Phoenix next turn after it.
Won't necessarily. Well, that's interesting. That is actually
like then it trades instead of dying.
It might be a better play. Well, I mean, Wallbreaker is nice to have leveled, especially if they're actually leveling Devourers. But your play might actually be better.
I think it might be, because he even shrunk the Patriarch that was already played, so that even that gets buffed.
If you hadn't suggested it, I think I would say your play is better, but I just really, my stomach retches at the idea of agreeing with you on something like that.
Okay,
so
I understand.
I'm gonna staunchly disagree with your position, whatever it is. I'm unclear of your position, but I disagree with it wholeheartedly.
Crazy as it seems to pass on the Wallbreaker free Phoenix skill, I think he'd rather buff the board.
Yeah, I think he might be right, as crazy as that sounds. I mean, you do have to remember he could easily do removal so that it doesn't happen. He could Epidemic, he could Call. There's a lot of things he could do that would make it so that that Phoenix would live, could move over, could then kill the Patriarch also.
Oh, well, even Epidemic, they would still trade.
Yeah, I mean,
like it takes 4 now, it would only need to take 2 next turn.
Yeah, it's a tough call, I think, for Hans here. I think
there's about 3 different lines you could take this turn.
I think I like your play against a non-removal deck. Against a removal deck, I think I would rather just get rid of him now before I get removed.
I think you play against NT in a very interesting way.
Yeah, but he can easily call it, and then it will all be for naught.
Yeah, but who cares?
Who cares? Who cares?
Who cares? Maybe he does a Warlord next turn, kills him for free.
You know what he could do, though? He could just go Wallbreaker in 1, or there, and then play the Patriarch in 1 anyway. He doesn't have to play the Warlord at all. I think that's the play.
Yeah. That's possible. I think he's...
Yeah, I think he's doing that. Yeah.
I think he's doing that, yeah.
He realized that my play was better than yours.
That wasn't even your play. You would have done the first thing you talked about 5 minutes ago instead of sitting here thinking about it.
Yeah, that's without thought.
Yeah.
As a commentator,
kind of how you play.
You don't get a full chance to think. All right, let's go ahead and roll off this second giveaway. It's going
All right,
to
good luck, everybody.
Sparhawk GWJ. Congratulations, sir. Enjoy whatever life brings you and this code. All right, how is JRan going to handle this? It's getting away from him rather quickly.
Yeah, this is just he's not, his deck isn't equipped to handle the fast snowball that this deck presents. I mean, he can put Phoenix in 3 for some value.
Yep. Call the
Which I assume he's doing. Yeah, I mean, there it goes. And then you're gonna play a removal spell because he just doesn't have the time to play Predators.
Yep.
At the same time, I think he has to be on a Predator plan if he is ever going to win a game, because that's the only real way I can see him winning.
I don't think Predator win this. You just remove him.
Well, I know. But what's he going to win with it?
Right, but what else does he have? Yeah. I don't know what Hans does here, actually. I think he goes Mage 5 and then maybe plays Glacius.
I like playing Glacius, yeah, for sure.
But where do you play Glacius?
You're only one turn away from him triggering.
Maybe Glacius in 5 then, so...
Glacius in 5 is
Phoenix can't
fine.
get him.
Keep him away from Phoenix.
Yeah. And then I guess the nice thing is the Mage has 8 health anyway. So you go Mage in, like, 2.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Phoenix probably just goes over and kills the Yeti.
But a lot of pressure on JRan here. Suddenly that egg, I think, looks a lot better. Because whatever he plays here is going to die anyway.
Yes, but he also wants to take guys off the board if he can. Is the thing.
I mean, he certainly can trade. He can move over the Phoenix into 4. He can play the Zemus in 1, trade them. The other guy that he plays isn't going to trade anyway. Well, I guess maybe he would. It depends.
It would.
If he puts it in 5, then it won't matter if he draws a Warlord.
Yeah, I would put the second Phoenix into 5 in front of the Glacius.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that's probably the right play.
Yeah. You want to use your Phoenixes to pick off the 7 toughness guys that don't kill them outright. I mean, yes, we know he has a Roar in his hand, and that could happen.
All right.
I mean, that works.
Yep. Empty board. Not too bad.
Empty board. He wants the empty off the board for 2.1.
Do you go here Mage plus Reveler?
It's an interesting turn. I think JRan's choice to kill the Ice Mage was actually pretty smart.
Yep, I agree.
Because, it diminishes the impact of that Reveler that we know he did and did end up drawing in 1.4.
Yeah, certainly. We haven't seen the Reveler yet. I know Hans likes the Reveler. He needs a cheerleader.
She got triggered in the first game.
Oh, yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah. She came out of off the dancing tables and just came out and did her thing.
Whenever she gets played, I think we need to play Va Va Voom.
Va Va Voom, yeah.
That should be her nickname, Va Va Voom.
I can get on board with that.
I've got it queued up. If he plays her, I'm gonna bust out some Va Va Voom, JRan's beloved theme song. So we'll see.
I think he's gonna play the Warlord. Looks like. I think you just want to level it here. Like, this is a hand where you're gonna play guys to the board, buff them with the Reveler, and you just want to level the correct cards for what's gonna be good and play level 2.
I think the Mage is always the right choice.
Despite the fact that it's not level gated.
What's up?
Despite the fact that it's not level gated.
Yeah, but just having one on the board is amazing.
Okay, but what creature is he scared of in 2.1 that he needs a Mage down? Because his opponent didn't level any dragon.
I mean, he's got a Zemus 2. He's got a Devourer 2.
Yeah, but Devourer 2 isn't scary on this board.
No, it's not. But still, I mean, if you strike out the next 2 turns, having it down for a Phoenix Egg would be way better than other options. Oh, he played it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Go for it.
He va-va-boomed it.
I disagree with you completely on the Ice Mage. I think he played the correct cards.
You, sir, are always wrong.
That is not true. There's just scared of that he needs to play Ice Mage for the turnover at this point.
I totally agree. It's more so he doesn't strike out. But as we see, he did not strike out. Making me look foolish. Deck. Dare you. What was the second card there? I missed it.
Second card? It was block and then block, I think, right?
It was what?
Block and block.
Yeah, what was the card though?
Devour. Yeah, it was Devour 1 and Devour 1.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Like 2 Devour 1s. Interesting. Do you go double mage here, or do you go 1 mage roar? I kind of like a roar to keep the Glacius alive.
I think I would actually play... It's interesting. I'd be inclined to play the Reveler over the roar. Just play the 8/8 to the board. You know, your opponent doesn't have very many creatures that actually favorably interact with an 8/8.
Mm-hmm.
He really only has spells, and if he's using his spells to kill your random 8/8 you play just as a creature, you're completely winning at that point, and there's very little your opponent can do.
Yeah, the other problem with the roar is an Epidemic will kill that guy. An Epidemic is pretty good against this deck because it really forces them to find Patriarchs, and if they don't, then they're just not doing much damage while you're hanging on to level 3 and 4 when you're actually going to be able to win. Yep, so he's going this way.
Let's do it. Well, yeah, definitely the Ice Mage, yeah, and I agree with the Reveler.
Yep, well, you got to do 2.
8/8 is definitely relevant at this point for attacking, and you just want to do damage right now.
Yeah,
like your opponent has been 0 creatures on the board 3 games in a row. There's no way for him to get on the board.
Right. I think you play the Cull here. Probably Cull the Reveler, and then kill the other Reveler with the Phoenix. Actually, maybe culling the Mage. Though it doesn't matter. Your board's empty anyway. Why are you afraid of the Mage?
Your board's empty anyway. What are you scared of with the Mage? Yeah.
Like, Mage who kills all my guys. What guys? I don't play guys. You don't play guys in this game.
And that's basically the logic behind why I disagree with your 1.4 level 1 Mage to level it and have it on the board. Because what guys?
Yeah.
There just aren't very many scary guys in JRan's deck. You just want to push damage. So Warlord for sure.
Yep.
Is the second card Roar? Buff the guys, or you play another creature? You could play Wallbreaker, preferably.
I think you play Wallbreaker. Just load dudes on the board.
Yeah, roaring 3 guys is okay, but I think maybe... Especially because it will get buffed by a Patriarch 2 next turn if you hit it.
Exactly. They're all currently buffable. If you roar, then they're all out of range. It is a little more damage.
Well, the Warlord isn't buffed. But he would have 3 guys on board to get buffed.
Question is, the roar doesn't get anyone out of Cull 2 range anyway.
No, but I mean, Cull 2 is also not a card he even cares about because if his opponent culls, he's losing.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? It's like playing NT against Drix. If you cull a Gox and play level 1, you're losing. Yes, you killed his guy, but you're never winning the game with that line. To go for the Warlord over the Wallbreaker? That would be interesting. It has the upside of getting buffed by a level 1 Patriarch if he happens to draw that, because there is still a level 1 Patriarch in his deck.
Yeah, and the Warlord does have... I think the Warlord actually is a better choice. It has better effect on the board. The Wallbreaker's not doing anything anyway. It's going to be a level 2 on level 3. The Warlord will do 6 damage. It kills a Zemus on level 2, an underleveled Zemus.
Yeah, no, see, exactly. The Wallbreaker is level gated on its effect, and it's not particularly effective against this deck anyways, whereas that 6 damage could be relevant.
Yeah, I agree.
So he did not hit a Patriarch or a Roar.
Yep.
Just another stack of Yetis, but that's okay too.
Yeah, this is the kind of danger zone. If your opponent can find a really good hand, which he can't because he didn't level any good cards.
Well, there's no good hand in this deck.
Right.
The only potential good hand has a Zemus 2 in it, and that's the entire upside of the hand.
I think you Epidemic here and just pray he doesn't hit a Patriarch, and at least it really limits him if he can't find a Patriarch.
I agree, you have to. You're going to take too much damage otherwise.
Yeah.
You know, if your opponent, this is where Epidemic is kind of a trap card, because if your opponent does show up with the Patriarch, you know, you have just well and truly lost the game.
Yep.
But I think he has to risk it here for sure.
I think you also have to play a Phoenix Ash. I think that's your own. I mean, you don't have anything in level 3 you're looking forward to. You have to have something that you can at least say, if I draw this, I have a chance.
Phoenix Ash is okay because he's, you know, the Epidemic shrunk the attack power so bad so far.
Yep.
Of course, we know that it is going to die for free rather nicely.
Yeah, as it often does. You don't expect that it's actually going to make it through. It just affects their plays a little bit. It gives you that level 3 Phoenix in your deck. I think that's more why you're playing it.
Yeah, no, I mean he leveled it. He has a Phoenix 3 in his deck now, which is definitely relevant.
I think here,
it didn't end up affecting Han's play because Hans was playing that wall breaker regardless of whether it was an egg down or an Ashes down. But
I think you play here the maybe the Warbringer just to do a little more damage.
Yeah, you could overwrite Warlord in 2.
Yeah. Another possibility was to play it in 4 first, then play Wallbreaker, but the Warlord's already -1. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Is that ad on your end?
What? I don't hear anything.
Oh, okay. I'm getting an ad from somewhere.
Cool. I only have 100 windows open. Alright, so he's got the 2.4 Phoenix. Yes, we did it, Jake. We made it. And the board is not abominable. Oh, there needs to be an abominable snowman Yeti. That's just gotta happen.
Oh, thank God it stopped. There was just this Nicorette commercial playing on loop over itself twice at the same time, looping endlessly, really loud.
Oh, that sounds great.
And I'm not sure where it came from. I closed it. Like, it wasn't even on my end. Not sure what happened. Anyways, all right. So yeah, he had a 2.4 Phoenix. I saw that in his hand.
Yep. Now he's got a level 3 Patriarch. Let's see. Only buffs 5 now, so that's only 12. But he could still Urante Bolt, the Phoenix, buffing the Yeti, killing the...
We're talking about a level 2 Patriarch, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, only buffs, was it 3 now? Yeah, it's substantially different.
I think so. Or, yeah, I guess 3, right? 2 and then 3 and then 5?
Yep, so that is going to be a real problem.
What he can do, though, is he could Patriarch 1, buff, and then buff again with the Patriarch 2. Which is fairly solid.
Right, it won't kill the Phoenix. I was trying to find a way to kill the Phoenix, but I don't think that's a possibility.
Oh, no, I wouldn't worry about killing the Phoenix this turn. Kill it next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have any removal. You could play, actually, Warlord. So yeah, that would be another 3. You're still only going to get to 13 on that Phoenix anyway you shake it.
No, don't worry about the Phoenix.
Yep. I kind of like the Warlord in 3, though, to kill the Zemus, then Patriarch in 3.
Is that better than the Patriarch buff your entire board?
Yeah, that seems pretty solid. Your play, though, of double Patriarch is also solid. Kind of depends on whether you care about that Zemus or not. Who probably, frankly, doesn't matter.
I don't think you care about the Zemus because, like, it's just going to run into the Patriarch anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it didn't, it's a level 1 Zemus. Like, you know, just ignore it, essentially.
Yeah, I think the double Patriarch is probably the play here. And then you got to hope.
I like it. He's already got leveled your anti-Warlords anyways. And putting that one on 2... I mean, you know, he is about to rank up, and he's looking for free ways to kill a Phoenix next turn.
Yep. So let's see. What's he going to do? Let's see. Are we in the middle of a giveaway, or did we finish that one? I think we finished it. Yep, we did.
I think you rolled it, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so there's one Patriarch.
Alright, he's got a
And
double.
the second one?
He's gotta. What's he gonna do?
I think he's got it now.
He's gotta.
the patriarch 2 wasn't the question part of the equation.
Right, exactly. That would be crazy if he was like, and now Warbringer overwriting to buff a guy. What I don't understand is what's taking so long for the decision.
Well, he's just considering his options. I can't fault him for thinking through his plays. I've had time called on me at probably every major Magic the Gathering event I've ever played in.
I can see that. Oh, look what he's considering.
Yeah.
He's considering overwriting the Wall Breaker to buff that other patriarch. Interesting. Because it's basically the same creature he's ending up with. And
it is
die.
interesting.
I think I like that bullet better.
I don't mind putting something into lane 4, but I would probably do it post-combat as well.
The thing is, he wants the damage. It's so much damage he'd be giving up on.
I know, but if he wants the damage, I would overwrite in 3. And, worse, all that losing the lane 4 being open lets happen is that you take 22 next turn. And you're at 94 life, and you're beating down your opponent. That's not something I'm worried about.
Yeah.
He's going to move the Phoenix next turn and kill another creature. He's not hitting you for 22, I think. In fact, I would be hoping that my opponent would hit me for 22.
I think the point, though, is if you do it this way, you have the creature in 4, and then if the Phoenix wants, he can't kill 2 guys. It doesn't get to kill 1 on your turn, 1 on his turn. It can only choose 1. But I don't think that matters.
Well, no. If he overwrites in 4 to keep the lanes filled, he kills the Patriarch on his turn, then moves in front of another one.
Right. But my point
is,
he doesn't get to move, kill, and then have the empty lane. Though I don't think that matters. I think I like your play better to do damage on the Phoenix. We'll have to ask him afterwards.
Yeah. Well, we'll discuss that with him. I'm sure he has plenty of discussion on the topic.
Certainly. Ooh. So now he has to move over and kill that Ice Mage. Unless he has a way to handle it. And he's got the Epidemic, which is going to help a ton.
Well, it doesn't even matter. The Urani Bolt kills.
Yeah, that's true. But the Epidemic will still... It keeps him in the game a little bit.
Yeah, no. I meant killing the Ice Mage, though. Makes no difference.
All right, so you nuked him with an Epidemic.
Yeah, nuked him with it, which is definitely effective. It takes the pressure off a little bit.
So now...
Oh, here's a Predator finally.
He played a Predator. Wow.
It took to player level 3 of Game 3 for Predator to come down, but here he is.
There he is, and something's going on with his Skype.
Oh, is everything okay? I don't have the live feed of that, so I'm only looking on the stream.
I'll have to see.
Okay. In any case, okay, so this is for me a fairly clear Uranti Bolt the Phoenix, give it Defender, and then Wall Breaker, kill it.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, the hand is abysmal other than that anyway, so it's not like there's even a choice to be had.
Yeah. So, okay, I would probably do it Uranti Bolt, Battle, and then overwrite the Warlord in 1 to prevent that Predator from getting, free growth, but it looks like he's just going to put it in 3.
Yep. Make him have to move over, kill the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm fine with this too, because if he doesn't choose to do that, then you have a 1-power guy that gets buffed by every Patriarch in sight, right?
Right.
So, it's not like he's scared of the growing Predator anyways, because it is a level 1 Predator. If it was a level 3 Predator, then you would get those guys off the board.
Right.
But as it is, I think it's fine like this too. Yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, you see what I'm saying, though? That Phoenix, utterly low impact.
Yeah, it really was.
Like, there just isn't that much to be scared of.
Yep. The nice thing is Devour here is actually reasonable. He could go like Devour, Zemus, get 2 immediate kills, take no damage in the process.
Yeah, that's not bad. He'll have a board for the first time.
But
in a long, long time.
In order to do that approach, he has to basically, I guess he can battle and then move the Predator over to block the 12 and just pray that he doesn't pull a Warlord too.
Yes.
Which is a big
that is
prayer.
true.
I mean,
He does need to be very careful with his life at this point. He'll have the board, but the Yeti deck... I disagree with what you were saying about finishing the game. I think the Yeti deck has a lot of reach.
I mean, it depends. Like, if JRan was playing the build we were talking about, this game would be a lot tougher because he wouldn't have gotten all that damage in because Spite Mage would have been killing his guys.
It would be a completely different game. But, we're going to focus on the deck that he is playing because this is what he brought.
Yes. My point is it can be tough to finish. And even
definitely tougher against that. But I think in general, though, the Yeti deck has a lot of ability to open up a lane in front of a guy and then pump that guy and push through for the final damage.
And that's really what it specializes.
Overall, has a fair bit of reach.
Yep, definitely. I've had a lot of games like that. He is starting to get some stuff on the board. I'd be pretty darn tempted to play that Spite Mage, maybe in 1.
I think you mean Ice Mage, right? Yeah.
All right, I call it a Spite Mage.
Spite Mage.
I think, I don't know. I mean, you got to be able to handle this Devourer, right? Or are you just going to not worry about it, assuming you'll be able to crush it or something next turn?
Well, I mean, the Ice Mage allows you to do that potentially, though.
Yeah,
you could also just stick Reveler in 4 in front of the Devourer.
Yep. That seems reasonable.
I mean, you can also put the Reveler in 1 to take the hit from the Predator. Oh, it looks like he's going to go for the Ice Mage, like we originally discussed. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
All right,
okay, and Reveler in front of the Phoenix to be safe for next turn.
Yep, that seems reasonable.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that seems fine to me.
It's quite likely he'll be able to remove him. But looking at JRan's hand, he can just call that that Ice Mage, making it pretty tough. And we're seeing why Death Current is so bad. So now he has a Death Current in his hand. That's a dead card.
Oh, it's awful. I mean,
right now, if that was a leveled card, you'd be like, oh, this is amazing. Instead, you're like, oh, that does nothing. Cool.
Okay, you know what? Someone commented, I think the card needs to be in an aggressive deck. I think the card is far better in an aggressive deck.
What card?
And it is a Death card. We're talking about Death card.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe.
I think it's far better in an aggressive deck than it is in a control deck.
See, I think I would have been tempted here to go JRan74 Bolt on the Reveler. And
he's just going to kill it. He's leaving the Ice Mage. I'm not sure that...
You have to kill the Ice Mage there. You just
What
have
does
to.
the Epidemic accomplish, though?
Oh, my goodness. Jeez, that was his win condition he gave up. Unless he gets incredibly lucky, which it looks like he did.
Well, he can't kill it, but he can just give it Defender. Like, it's not doing much winning.
I don't understand that play at all.
Yeah, I would have done it different. I don't know that the Solstice Reveler does much there. And if you're like, you could JRan74 it and cull the Ice Mage. Is I think what I would have done.
That's what I would have done as well.
Trade off the middle. Your Devourer's still attacking. Only the Ice Mage is off the board.
That was a crazy play. Would you do Glacius here? Oh, I mean, I think you have to play.
You're playing Warlord to kill a Phoenix, right?
Exactly. So I think then the question becomes, what do you put in 4?
I
don't think Glacius is the card.
No, you put Glacius in 2 or 3, and you give the Devourer Defender with Ice Mage.
And then take 21 on his turn.
Take 21 on his turn, yeah.
Actually, it'd be 23.
Yes, it would be 23.
Yeah, I'd be kind of tempted to go Warlord 5 and maybe like Patriarch in 4. And then, of course, still Defender him, but be able to block him.
Be able to block him next turn.
And then maybe have
I'm okay with that as well. The Glacius may or may not be really good next turn, depending on what JRan puts onto the board.
I think, though, Glacius might be better because the problem is there's a really good chance your Ice Mage is going away. If that's happens,
the thing. If the Ice Mage lives, then the Glacius is amazing because you defend with the Devourer again, and then you Glacius it, and it's done.
Right.
But if the Ice Mage dies, then blocking with the Patriarch is to avoid the 23 damage is probably better.
So it's kind of a tough spot here.
Okay, I mean, he can play Warlord, though. Warlord's a given. He's not going to eat that Phoenix a second time to the face.
Right. That would be kind of madness. But maybe madness is what we're looking for. Maybe I'm just a lunatic you're looking for. Turn out the lights. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. All right.
Oh, madness. Where's that?
We're going to go ahead and do a giveaway right here while we are waiting.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
It is going to be...
People like giveaways. I know that.
Hashtag thinking.
Thinking.
Yep. You heard me, buddy boy.
Okay.
Don't question me. It's a tough play. This is really one of those moments, right, where you do need to think about what are all the possibilities, what's the best play. I mean, it looks like he's even considering going double Warlord to get max damage on that Devour, which seems reasonable.
Oh, my link got totally destroyed by your crazy thing. I'm gonna let them handle their spamming, and then I'll repost that link.
Maybe you could even mute your mic so that they don't all have to hear your keyboard. I mean, I know that
It
would
was
be
brief.
madness.
It was brief. Look, just because I bomb countries when I type. Yeah.
No, we all love that about you.
Hans is in the tank. You know, I respect that though because Hans found Turbo Hans playing his account and slew him.
Yeah, the problem is the other games were too easy. Didn't have really tough decision points.
Yeah, this is the first game that hasn't been a complete rollover kind of, and it's this is a very interesting turn in my opinion overall because he could win or lose the game right here depending on what he does. Depending on what happens in the next hand in his next 5 cards, he could win or lose right here.
Yep. I feel like Glacius is the dangerous play. Actually, I feel like Glacius is the right play. Because if he has a cull and he's able to get rid of the mage, he still has an out.
Then you still have, yeah, right. Then you just block the Devourer and then it's done. You're right.
So this gives you 2 outs. Whereas if you go like a Patriarch Warlord plan, you have the 1 out. If he nukes your out, you're going to get hit in the face with a ton with Warlord. And you have to pray next turn that you find like your Rante Bolt and Crush or something like that.
Yeah. That's a good point. I think I would probably play the Glacius.
Yep, I think so too. I think I would go Glacius in 2 and make him Defender, take 23 to the face, and pray he doesn't have a monster hand that's like double cull, gets rid of both of your outs, and then just wins. We'll see what he's able to do. Yeah, so we're going to get to see the Glacius maybe do what he's built to do.
He's very powerful.
He is.
I know. Right. I mean, I've been dissing him since he was spoiled, but he's pretty darn powerful.
So, what do you do here? You go Devourer 2, Shock, and then which one do you cull? I think you cull Glacius, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the Glacius is a guaranteed shutdown on the Garmgant.
Right. He would shut them both
down.
And this way it puts pressure on him. He has to find a Crush. And even if he finds a Crush, it's a card he's got to play. Okay. Or we could do that and just trade off the board and win.
I like it. Take them out of here.
Yeah, that plays far better.
Yeah, I agree.
far better than what I was talking about.
Yeah, I don't know about you.
All right, so can he put 11 through, though? It's going to be close. Because with Turnabout...
Can, right? Because that's +5. No, he has lethal.
Yep, he's got lethal.
Yeah. He plays Patriarch and wins.
I wish he needed to play Turnabout to get lethal. That would have been
I think he is going to play Turnabout, right? Yeah. There we go.
There it is.
You guys, Turnabout. It's a card.
Turnabout is fair play.
So a little bit anticlimactic ending after, what a decision-making turn.
I'm going to go ahead and do the roll real quick.
Sure.
So, Crims17 wins the last code. We'll do 2 Metamart giveaways after we bring our dear friend Hans on. let me do this giveaway real quick, and then we will bring him on. We'll bring in our champion. All right. Let's get his music going. Oh, no. What happened? Played it all the way to the end. There we go. Wow. That's some music. All right, Hans. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. 3-0. Were you surprised?
Hey there. Yeah, that was cool. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, this was quite a blowout.
Did you make any adjustments on how you were playing your Yeti deck based on how his NT deck was built, or is that normally how you just play it against all NT decks?
Like, I think it just made it easier on me. Like his version, the cards you guys were talking about earlier were probably would have helped him a lot. So this version wasn't really in good shape against Yeti deck. I don't think I should crush him the way I did, but and definitely that is probably not the case when the other cards are being played in the red-black deck. But yeah.
All right. Well, it was certainly well played there. So I noticed you did not really play the Fire Fist. Is that a matchup consideration?
Yeah, I feel like basically you invest into your Fire Fist, and they still have not such a hard time to remove it. And leveling it isn't very powerful, so it is like if you want to go for Fire Fist action, you can still do that later on. Like the difference between the level 1 and the level 2 is basically non-existent. So when you later want, like with the Patriarch or something, give it a huge push, or with a Solstice Reveler, then you can still do that. So you don't really want it leveled in the matchup. Like in different matchups, it could be it is fine where they don't have that much removal, but with all the removal going on here, I don't want to invest in that card, and then like pumping it to like 3 attack, it doesn't even do anything. Like I need at least 5 to start like doing reasonable amounts of damage to predators and stuff, and that is not so easy early on. And so it's basically, I would play it if it comes along later on, like with the Patriarch 3 or something, and mediocre hand. I would play it there. But normally, like just trying to go for it in the early game doesn't seem to make any sense.
Do you go for it in the early game against other decks? Maybe they're playing Arc Flights and things like that you can nuke before they get rolling?
Yeah. If I expect there to be very few removal, it's a lot better.
Gotcha. All right. Well, congratulations on your victory, sir. Your pile of gold will be heading to your home shortly. The dump truck is on its way.
That is awesome. I didn't even know I would get gold for this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
There's a prize for the winner.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't expect it to be like this. I was totally trying to show off something cute I could build from the new set, and I have so many more cute things going on right now. But this was also one of the more aggressive decks. I didn't want to bore you guys because you know I am so slow, and if I would have played my full control deck, trying to win in rank 7, you guys would have fallen asleep.
We'd be in game 1 still, right? Yeah.
So I tried to make it easy on you.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. We there was worry that someone else had tied you up and was playing your games for you, but we were all relieved at the end when there was a tough decision and you took your time. That's how we knew you had made your escape and disposed of the guy controlling your account.
Yeah, he just made it so easy on me, like never having guys. So I had my decisions were not that difficult.
Yeah, it's not. Do I want to replace one of my full board of creatures or play Roar?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like when there's
Anyways,
no creature cards
congratulations.
going on. It's a lot. The game is a lot easier.
Yeah.
All right, Hans. Well, we look forward to having you back for our Champions Circuit sometime later in the year. We have more champions, and we'll have you guys battle it out to see who is the true champion of the Forge.
Awesome. That sounds awesome.
All right.
So if you may I plug my stream?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, Dr. Ho is the stream name. So if you wanna, I have a feature stream going on Mondays, and most of the time I'm playing Constructed. So I will do that now again. Like right now, there's a lot of drafts going on for being the new set, but yeah, I'm looking forward to doing fancy stuff with new constructed cards. So join me there.
One quick question for you before you go. For acquiring cards, are you mostly going into the queue to do that, or did you buy piles and piles of packs?
Right now, I was drafting. I think draft is the best way to acquire all the heroics, and because you get all those extra cards while drafting, and you can pick the heroics. When you think you have a good deck anyway, you can just randomly pick up some extra heroics you still need. That one will only be like average or not so great in your deck. So that's a good thing to get those. And I think for legendaries, it might actually be better to play constructed, but I haven't done that much yet. And I just forged away all my account bound cards, and the silver I bought packs because I had so many cards from the old set, and although they were mostly gold, but still there were so many silver cards on top of that to be forged away, and I did that. So I could buy some new packs there.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, and until next time, we'll see you when 2 enter the Forge, 1 emerges champion, and 1 leaves beaten, battered, and bruised.